Boom, shakalaka boom. You've tuned in to the Free Range Human Show of Choice, your daily dose of reality radio. It starts right now. This is the Clay Edwards Show. I am, of course, Clay Edwards, coming at you live here on 1039 WYAB, the 50,000 megawatt truth-telling flame thrower from out here in lovely Florida, Mississippi, all across the airwaves. As far as the signal will go, as far as 50,000 watts will take us. It's a little bit of a cloudy day this morning, so that usually means the signal goes a little bit further. Hope you all hear it loud and clear wherever you're at, and if you can't, you can always tune in to the Mazda of Jackson live stream, where we're in stunning HD, and we are streaming to YouTube, X, Twitch, and Rumble. You can find it at SaveJXN on YouTube and X, and at Clay Edwards Show on Twitch and Rumble. We are not streaming to Facebook. We're not going to let some losers hijack the comment section and ruin the good time for our dedicated YouTube audience. So if you previously watched the show on Facebook, you will have to change platforms. I'm not going to let a bunch of people ruin it for other folks. If you want to have good conversation, you want to have intelligent conversation, you want to debate respectfully, I am all for that. But if you just want to come in and show us all what low IQ ingrades you are, and that you can only speak in vulgar, over-sexualized language, that's just not a place for that. That's just not a place for that. We're going to segregate y'all from the rest of us. We are. We're just going to segregate you from the rest of us. We're going to have a good time over here. And if you jump on the YouTube, we can moderate that better too. And you won't get your little jabs in but once. And again, it's not because we don't like criticism. I'm fine with criticism. I feed off of it. Really doesn't even bother me at all. But what it does bother is the good viewers and the community that we've built in the chat. When you come in and you spam it with just your filth and vulgar, nasty, over-sexualized culture rot, as a matter of fact. And y'all wonder why I say culture rot. Well, all you got to do is read my chats from the culture, and you'll understand why we call it culture rot. Makes sense now, doesn't it? It does. It makes perfect sense. So we've just said, hey, I don't need Facebook. Like, I really don't. Not for live streaming purposes, not for live chats. So we just said 86 Facebook. I got home yesterday. We got Creston Birch here in the studio with me. I got home yesterday, Creston, and I probably didn't sit down for 5 minutes, and I got a notification from Facebook. We have restricted your account. We have demonetized your account. You cannot do anything except post for 6 months. And I was like, what the hell? So
Here we go again.
Here we go again. On top of this organized, coordinated attack on the radio station again to try to get me fired, for something I didn't do on the radio. Mm-hmm. It's all hit me at one time. And I was like, you know what? I ignored it all. I was like, I'm going to finish my lunch.
Well, there's a saying out there that I keep hearing all the time. It says if they're shooting at you, you must be over the right target.
Absolutely. They can't stand it. And I've been over the target for a while now, especially the last year, as I really have found my voice and kind of what people expect out of this platform and what I expect out of this platform. And I expect nothing but the truth. So that's what I'm going to do. But I got home yesterday and I just heated me up some sausage. I went to Allen's Grocery the other night, got some of the good smoked sausage, and I heated it up in the air fryer. I'd be shocked at how good the air fryer is for heating up something that should be cooked on the grill. Heated sausage up, man, jalapeno, pineapple, and not cheddar, jalapeno, pineapple, and pepper jack. Heated that up, cut it up, man, put me some Fireman John's vinegar barbecue sauce on it. I had some, what did I eat with it? Maybe some pasta salad or some eggs or something. I can't remember. Anyway, I had a side with it, and I sat down. I was like, I'm not taking this phone call from the boss, and I'm not messing with this Facebook nonsense until I eat my food. I ate my food. I did my appeal. I called the boss man back, and somehow or another, paint me shocked, the appeal won. And I done made a Facebook post and everything. Said, guys, I expect this account to be suspended by the end of the day. Y'all make sure y'all are following me here, and here. Your
first appeal won?
Yeah. Well, the second one's never won. Like if you lose the first one, anything else after that's a waste of your time.
Yeah.
They do not overturn appeal losses. I've never seen one. I mean, I'm trying now to get my other page back.
Yeah.
You know, and they keep telling me they're working on it. Our team is looking at it. What's there to look at? Either it's
right or it's wrong.
I mean, just tell me.
Yeah, one way or the other.
Yeah, one way or another, because I need to start getting my stuff off of it that I want to save from it. If you're not going to reactivate it at some point.
That's right.
Or if you are, when? Because what Meta doesn't take into account when they suspend these pages is the investment. Like, these are businesses. You know, they want full-time content creators, but then they don't give us any guidelines. You know, like community guidelines. They think they're very clear and obvious. They're not. You know, and they're clearly not. And then when they do suspend you, they don't tell you for how long. They don't tell you when you're going to get remonetized, et cetera, et cetera. And look, I'll still post stuff on Facebook for free while I can, just because at the end of the day, I'm a content creator and I want to get my message across. I've always said I would do this for free, and to an extent I will, because I always did it for free before this.
That's right.
You know, I enjoy doing this. It is a calling. It is not just a job, but it is a job simultaneously when it's my job. You know, it's like at the end of the day, this is still how I pay my bills. Combination of radio and social media.
Well, it's like the previous job I had. It was a calling as well. Mm-hmm. The paycheck wasn't great, but it was nice to have at the end of the month when the man came calling for his pay.
Yeah, absolutely. So got it back, got remonetized, you know, yesterday, and still ended up having a great day. You know, to have lost my big account on the 10th of the month, which we were tracking to have the biggest financial month I've ever had on Facebook, or really social media period, I think, with the exception of one just ridiculous month I had on TikTok 2 years ago, just mind-boggling. But, I mean, I see how people get rich doing this if they can stay consistent with it. I mean, I've had a couple of really good months like that, but I've never been able to string them together past about 3 months at a time because I get thrown in community violations jail. But I got that cut back on. And then I was like, well, what got everybody trying to get me fired today? What have I said now? You know, why is everybody trying to attack the radio station for something I didn't say on the radio station? We got people sending in emails pretending to be judges and all kind of crazy. It's so crazy. The black culture is just so rotten. The culture right side of it. But it's a photo that somebody sent me of a car driving through Jackson with like some scribble on the back window that said "Justice for Nolan Wells." And I made the comment. I made the comment not thinking this was going to go viral outside of Jackson or outside the Tri-County area.
Yeah.
That said, they better be careful stopping in Jackson, or because it was an out-of-town tag, I think Illinois.
Yeah.
I said they better be careful stopping in Jackson, or their folks back home will be the next ones writing justice for fill in the blank.
Yeah, because you were talking about the local gas station at the corner where all the crossfire seems to happen.
Exactly. I was talking about you're going to get killed by a Jacksonian if you stop at the wrong place in Jackson, which, by the way, I ain't a Jacksonian. So that got spread, and they said I was threatening. I was threatening people. No, I'm warning people. That was a warning. Do not stop in Jackson at a Jackson gas station.
Like the red flags warning they put up when the waves and the stuff are too high.
Do not exit here.
Do we need a special one for Jackson, like a flag warning, like when it's really stuff is really popping off?
Well, I tell you what, we need it right now.
No,
they are on a burner, son. I mean, we're talking about Chocoway, Antar, Lumumba 2021 levels of homicides over the last couple of weeks. I mean, they are on a burner. The hotter it gets, the less their impulses are controlled.
Well, everybody's out and they're around each other, and then things happen, and then guns get pulled.
They do. It's shoot first, ask questions later. So that went viral, and everybody was trying to say that I was threatening these people, and just the amount of low IQ it takes to read that and think that was a threat is asinine. But they've been out to get me for a while, and anything they can do. It's like I feel like the boys in this Nolan Wells thing, the white boys, of course. I feel like them. I feel like they're fabricating things, and they're coming after me, and just anything they can do to try to make me go away. But here's the thing. If the radio goes away, I still have a massive online following. You think I'm going away? Guys, y'all don't understand how this works. This is what I do. Whether it's on this microphone, on the microphone at the house, on my phone, or somewhere with a bullhorn or a carrier pigeon, I ain't going to stop.
It's that business term called diversification.
I diversified a long time ago. I have more than one means of income.
That's right.
Yes. Do I need all of them? Well, not necessarily, but it's nice, So, I diversified a long time ago to make myself what I like to call cancel proof. Now, none of us are cancel proof. You can be canceled.
Oh, yeah.
But it's a lot harder to cancel me in 2026 than it was in 2024. I kind of established in 2025 too, so that's why I skipped a year. In 2024, 23, 22, yada, yada, yada. Because it almost happened once. And I said I need to diversify a little bit, and I did. Yeah. And, so I got streams of income, albeit not no massive, but it's
every little bit helps.
Every little bit helps. If I lost any one of my jobs, I would still not have to go get a job, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. So, of course, I don't want to be in that. I don't want to just be living week to week.
No, nobody does.
I don't want to just be living week to week, but what the culture showed me was when they come after you, you need to be diversified a little bit and have the ability to do some other things. And I always have the ability to do other things. Believe it or not, when you do this for a living, you develop talents doing this. And I don't just mean talking on the mic or talking into a camera. I mean the creation side, the editing, the production, the how to blow up on social media.
Yeah.
These are very valuable assets that I can go work behind the scenes anywhere with. So
you have to work at it. It don't just come easy.
No, it doesn't. So it's always funny. But that I just tell you all that to say that they're coming after you, boy, and I ain't backing down. They've been this year. They've been after me hard this year. One group or another. This has been the year they've tried to put a fork in me, and I've just gotten bigger and bigger and bigger. It's just funny how that works. And the one promise I can make y'all is I am never going to tell a lie to avoid anything or to try to blow up or get bigger or go viral or anything like that. We've gotten where we're at, telling the truth.
Stating the facts.
And at the end of the day, that's why your boy ain't been sued. I'm not saying it won't happen tomorrow. I'm not saying that, I won't get a subpoena from somebody, but that doesn't mean that I told a lie.
Yeah.
It just means that somebody's angry about what I said and wishes wants me to retract or something. But unless they can prove that I was wrong, and that's why I try not to be the one to break. I know I say breaking news in my videos all the time, but I'm not literally breaking the news. I'm repeating the breaking news.
Yeah.
And it goes back to what I said yesterday. I get sent all kind of stuff that other people run with. A lot of these true crime video makers and all that. And God bless what they do. I'm not hating, but you're taking on a lot of risk when you start reporting true crime that hasn't been reported and documented yet. And you're taking rumors and innuendo and these people, all those idiots up in North Mississippi I was going back and forth with, and they just take what anybody tells them and run with it, and they throw allegedly on the front of it and think that protects them.
And think that's covered, and then that ain't the case.
No, if I felt like it, I could sue the pants off of all those idiots with the lies they made up about me. And just saying allegedly or people say. When I read Russ Latino's quotes on that yesterday, it ding, 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 ding.
The bells and whistles went off.
They did. I said, because, I've said all those things, but it was factual stuff I was talking about. It was more in gist. But I know for a fact the lies told about me, and they use that nonsense. I'm like, man, if I really felt like suing, it's floating. I will go back and sue the crap out of them. But it's like, how much is it worth? How much is it worth for me to spend to go get blood from a turnip? Now, these folks down on the coast have decided it's worth whatever it is to them. Their reputation is worth preserving regardless of what you're going to get from these content creators. And we're going to talk about that on the other side of this segment. The first lawsuit or cease and desist, whatever you want to call it, the first legal filings have been filed by Russ Latino and the Edmiston family against a content creator that decided to spread lies and innuendo and post photos of their home and all kinds of stuff. So, you have something you want to say?
Mm-mm.
All right.
I was waiting for you to pop that off there.
All right, well, let's take a break. We'll be right back here on the Clay Edwards Show, 103.9 WYAB, the Ellis Autoplex text line, 769-241-1944, 769-241-1944. Email the show, clay@wyab.com, clay@wyab.com. And, of course, we are powered by the free testosterone screenings over at Live Better Men's Health and Wellness out in Gluckstadt, Mississippi. Guys, what are you waiting for? Get your life back. Are you suffering from ED? You know what ED means. Are you you got that dad bod? Have you convinced yourself that dad bod is the best bod? Son, get on that dang testosterone and quit making excuses. Start lifting them weights, clanging and banging. Look, even if you're not going to do that, you could be wheelchair bound, and testosterone is still going to be a game changer for you, whether you can lift a weight, run, walk, anything. What it's going to do for your mental clarity, your mental mindset, you're going to have a winner's mindset. And I think it's just the best way to describe it. You're going to have a winner's mindset when your testosterone levels is where it needs to be. You can start today. Text CLAY, C-L-A-Y, to 601-633-9017 or check out livebettermen.com. We'll be right back here on 103.9 WYAB. Welcome back in to the Clay Edwards Show, 103.9 WYAB. This segment brought to you by our friends over at Grills of Mississippi. Sorry. I shared the YouTube video. My phone just decided to start talking to me. This segment brought to you by Grills of Mississippi, right over there, Highway 51 North in Ridgeland, Mississippi, right over there by Trace Grill and Trace Station Shopping Center. If you're heading north on 51, it's going to be right there on the right as soon as you pass Trace Grill, big brick building, big beautiful windows in it. You're going to go in there, man, and it is a grillsman's or woman's paradise. They're going to have all your grills. You know, you can't have grills in the name and not have grills. So they got you covered on the grills. Whether you want like a nice little starter Weber charcoal grill, just the old-fashioned OG round dome top Weber, they got those. They don't have like the $99 Walmart version. They got the step up with the stainless steel grates and just one that's going to last you a while if you take care of it. It's going to have a few more bells and whistles. If you've ever cooked more than one time on a grill, it's going to have some things on there that just you're going to appreciate. It's going to be more user friendly than the cheap, $99 intro version. And look, nothing wrong with that. I burned the bottom out of a couple of them over the years. But you start thinking, like, man, wouldn't it be nice if the thing had like the table on the side of it and some, higher end brackets and, better grates and all that stuff.
Little step up in the world.
Yeah, it matters. It matters. So they got you covered there. And of course, man, you can spend as much money on a grill as you want to. And it will just say that. They got smokers. They got traditional smokers, pellet smokers, pellet grills. They got it all. They got this one thing, Preston, and I'm not going to spend long on this, but I love talking a little food. I love taking my foot off the throat a little bit here. They've got a thing that I want. It's a gas-powered, a propane-powered steak cooker.
Okay.
I mean, it's a broiler.
Oh, yeah.
It's like this little stainless steel box, and you slide the steak in the front of it like restaurants have.
Yeah.
And I think it gets up like 1,500 degrees or something like that.
Real fast, real quick.
Talking about cooking a steak like Kessler Prime style.
Yeah.
And, man, it's like $300, $400. I really think I would use it. I do. Now, right now, I eat my steak. I just cube them all up and throw them on the grill or in the air fryer. And it works great, especially in the air fryer, so it sears a little more of it and kind of evenly cooks it. But I would love to get me a big old 2-inch thick ribeye and slide it into that thing, sear, serve.
Yep.
Oh, man, 1,500 degrees. It would just be sizzling on the top, charred, and then pink in the middle. Oh, gosh, dang, man, it just sounds so good. And get some propane or get my buddy over at Anglin Plumbing to come up and bring me a gas line up to it, and I ain't never got to worry about propane on that thing. I don't even think my house has gas. My house is all electric. Surely there's some gas somewhere around there. We'll figure it out. But look, they got that thing over there, and I forget what it's called exactly, but it's stainless steel. It's not very expensive, in my opinion, for what it does. And they got the pellets. And real quick here, and we'll get back to the show. There are pellets over there for you pellet smokers. Maybe you've been getting your pellets at the grocery store, at the Home Depot, somewhere like that. And I'm guilty of that as well. Convenience matters because time is money. But, man, you're tearing your smoker up. And I've got that $4,000 smoker. I didn't pay that for it. A buddy of mine, God bless him, gave me a really, really good deal when he had to move, but I had to come get it right then. I ain't telling you what I paid, but it wasn't that much on a Pitts and Spits and Pitts or Pitts and Smiths or something, one of them high-end smoker, like $4,000 new. Anyway, but using cheap charcoal, I burned out the burner thing, the burner rod, the starter rod.
The striker?
Yeah, and because that just cheap, that dust. And the store-bought, the big box store pellets are grown from trees or made from trees that are grown in Utah, in the desert, where the pellets here that they have at Grills, Mississippi, were grown in the southeast. So they're going to burn 70% longer and have way, way less dust or ash or whatever you want to call it. And, man, that makes a big difference. And also the flavor profile lasts a lot longer on these things. You're not burning the peach or the apple wood or whatever off, immediately. So check them out, man. Grills of Mississippi and grillsofms.com. All right, so we're talking about lawsuits. The Ellis Autoplex text line, 769-241-1944. If you want to chime in. If you want to call the show and stay on topic, 601-879-0002. Let me pull this up here because we have our first contestant on the lawsuit bandwagon here. We have Kimbra Lee. We got her face up on the screen there. She is a white woman, blonde hair, claims to be a rapper, social media influencer, and a OnlyFans model. And I guess she is a online true crime detective as well, or however you want to word that. So let's see here what we got here. So we have Russ's announcement here over this lawsuit, and it reads as such. Tell you what, I actually can't read that. So I'm going to go to Russ's page here real quick and pull it up. Y'all bear with me 1 second. I'm almost there. Let's see. I apologize. I thought I'd be able to read it. All right, here we go. So it says, this was 14 hours ago. Russ Latino, he's the attorney for Bart Edmiston Jr., who is tied up in this whole Nolan Wells debacle and has been one of the poor young men who have been falsely accused or roped into all this nonsense by the internet sleuths out there. Anyway, so Russ says, I had someone today call me and ask me to sue them for defaming Bart Edmiston Jr. because I love when little dogs think they're big dogs. Anyway, we served a cease and desist demand for correction and evidence preservation. Notice on social media influencer, comedian, rapper, and OnlyFans model Kimbra Lee, and that is spelled Kymbra space Li. Kimbra Lee. Today, in anticipation of filing a defamation lawsuit against her. I anticipate at least 2 more such notices going out by the end of the week. He says he just bought a new case of toner for his printer. So Kimbra, trying to be a badass, trying to be, oh yeah, well, sue me, please do. Well, be careful what you wish for. Kimbra says, Bart, baby. Oh, I'm sorry. This is where she said, Bart, baby, would this happen to be your house? And she exposed where he lived. And we're not going to show a picture of his home, but got the price of it there, worth about $1.6 million. That's the Zillow price. That's the
Zestimate.
The Zestimate. Give me 1 second here. Let me pull up her post. I was in my office over there saving them this morning, trying to get all my stuff put together before we walked in here. But I got it right here. Oh, let's see here. Here is what Kimbra said. Suing me will make me rich, baby. Do what you got to do. It will be a waste of your money and time and will not cost me a penny, but will give me so much publicity and public outrage. I might actually be able to afford a hamburger. I guess she doesn't understand how lawsuits work. They, in fact, will not make you rich.
No.
That is not how a lawsuit works. Somebody texted a minute ago and said, Russ is a great man, but on the Ellis Autoplex text line, it says, Russ is a great man, dang it, but he's unlikely to prevail in defamation case, especially internet drama. Has Russ ever tried a case to avert it? That I don't know, but I think you're going to see here in Mississippi some courtrooms and some juries that are very favorable to seeing some lawsuits through. I think people are at a breaking point with this stuff. And, people say you have to prove on defamation, you have to prove where it hurt your income. Well, sometimes you don't have time to prove that it hurt your income. When you're accusing people of being murderers, that's beyond typical internet slander and drama.
Yeah.
You're exposing where people live. Now, granted, public information, sure, but you're going above and beyond to paint not just a narrative. You're falsely accusing somebody who has not been charged as a murderer. Yeah, that meets expectation. That meets whatever the word is I'm looking for.
The burden of proof.
That meets the bare minimum to file a lawsuit against these people.
Yeah.
And like I said, just because you said allegedly, that ain't gonna cover your butt.
Well, that's the point. Is there has been no crime established yet, and they are saying these people have killed somebody. I don't think everybody gets that through their brain.
No, and I'll tell you what's really sad, man. Let me pull this back up. I'm gonna switch back over to the other screen. They're going through all these people's photos and everything and think that they're piecing puzzles together and proving points. Now, I had not been following the photo controversy of Katie McCormick, the Nolan girl, the white girl at the center of this. I had not
supposedly,
allegedly, people say,
yeah,
at the center of this. And I'd not been following that necessarily. I knew there was a girl, but I didn't care what she looked like and all that. I'd seen pictures here and there, but I just hadn't been laser focused on that.
Yeah.
I'm more focused on the other aspects of it, just the absolute false accusations.
Right.
I don't care about the girl part. I don't care who he was there trying to hook up with. That's irrelevant to me.
It doesn't matter at all.
It doesn't. But to them, that's their motive is, no, what you don't understand is they got on the boat together. Nolan got on the boat with Katie, and then Bart got angry because him and Katie dated, and he killed Nolan, and everybody else went along with it. No, I mean, that don't make sense. So these rocket scientists came to this conclusion is there was a photo of Bart and a girl from 3 or 4 years prior when they were in high school. I'd say 2 or 3 years. When they were in high school on a trip somewhere, and the girl slightly could resemble Katie, but you could also tell it's probably not her. They confirm on their end it is not her. It is another girl from high school. Anybody that went to school with them knows that.
Yep.
They know it's not her. They're not going to put this out there if this is wrong, by the way. The attorney is not going to come out and say, this is not Katie McCormick.
Mm-hmm.
This is fill in the blank, but we're not going to say her name because of privacy. She doesn't deserve to be drug into this.
Enough people already been drug into it.
Man, this is why I don't post pictures of any family members, girlfriend, none of that stuff anymore. I don't let them post pictures of me because I don't want these idiots going through and trying to run my family through the mud any more than they already have in the last year. So this is exactly why when you get hung up in some crap, get everything offline as quick as you can, because the idiots that don't know what they're talking about are going to go trifling through your stuff, trying to find something, trying to play internet detective, and they're going to start exposing everybody what they do, who they are, and basically guilt by association. Right. To whatever they're claiming, whatever they're accusing you of, anybody in your life is going to be accused of it as well. So Latino and them have come out and said this is not that girl, but they were using that picture as their proof that this was the motive for Bart to choke and kill Nolan. Now, we're going to take a break here, but what I find funny is they can't get their story straight. Did they leave him on the island? Did they violate y'all's made up bro code of no man left behind? Man, the group of people that kill each other over nothing, having this no man left behind code is just rich to me. So did they leave him on the island, or did they take him on the boat? I mean, y'all got to make it make sense for me. It can't be both.
It do have to be one or the other, and it appears that he was on the island.
Yep, it appears he was on the island, and it appears that he was drunk, and it appears that, according to Officer Tatum, let me make sure I credit this. According to Officer Tatum, it appears that the toxicology report may show that he was blasted out of his mind on cocaine, maybe laced with fentanyl. So I kind of hinted at that last week on this show without just telling y'all when I was like, I heard the same thing from 3 different law enforcement sources. I'm glad Tatum just busted open the door and said it. So it makes me feel better about it. But look, I'm still, with all that said, I am having a hard time separating Nolan Wells, the human, from the Nolan Wells supporters.
Oh, absolutely.
But let's take a break, come back, and I want to vet this out a little bit more and not just try to say something zesty to end the segment here. Let's take a break. We'll be right back here on the Clay Edwards Show. We're going to pick this back up, talking about the potential toxicology report results. We'll be right back on the Clay Edwards Show with guest host Preston Birch on 103.9 WYAB. Welcome back into the Clay Edwards Show, 103.9 WYAB. Streaming worldwide, WYAB.com, the TuneIn app, Alexa, and, of course, the Mazda of Jackson live stream if you want to watch in video. We do try to use a good bit of external video, photos, stuff like that. We try to add good visual elements to the show to separate the live stream from the radio product. But, we try to be good narrators for the radio as well. But you can participate in the live chat over on the live stream at Save JXN on YouTube and X. It is available in 2 different formats on YouTube, portrait or landscape, or so basically straight up and down on your phone, or widescreen if you want to watch on your TV or your phone. And then it's available in portrait, that's straight up and down on X. That's at Save JXN. And then, of course, it's also available in widescreen format for Rumble and Twitch if you search Clay Edwards Show on either one of those platforms. So always live, 2 hours a day or more, right here every Monday through Friday. Let's see here real quick. Thursday. Where does my McBee's menu disappear? It's Thursday. I know what it is. It's chicken. It's not chicken. It's regular spaghetti day. Regular spaghetti day at McBee's Bar and Grill right there. Is that Wednesday or Thursday? Where's my menu at? I know this sounds so professional over here, but people move stuff around. Makes no sense to me.
It's disappeared.
It has. Like, there's a whole McBee's menu that I keep right here for this very purpose, and then boom, it's gone. Well, you know what? The Blue Plate Special. Thank you, Michael, texting in today. It is spaghetti. I was right. I was thinking someone was telling me fried pork chop, but it's the red sauce spaghetti. I was right. Red sauce spaghetti is the McBee's Blue Plate of the day, but they also have hamburger steak with gravy, and all their hamburger steak patties and hamburger patties are hand pattied. I want to say hand battered, hand pattied. Mm-hmm. So it's all fresh, never frozen beef. Man, that goes a long way.
It do have some taste to it. It
does, and also with it being red sauce spaghetti, that's the same hamburger meat.
Yep.
It's not hand pattied for that, but it's still fresh, never frozen as it's being cooked down to a spaghetti sauce. It just makes a difference. It's all from scratch. So swing by, man. Check out the the red sauce spaghetti, the hamburger steak if that's what you want. They do have hand-battered country fried steak as an option as well. And if you're watching your calories or your fat, they have grilled chicken breast available every day with a wide assortment of sides. And I'm telling you, I go on record. I say it every time I get a chance. McBee's has got the best fried okra in central Mississippi. And that's saying something because we got some great fried okra around here.
That's true.
And McBee's, and always it's cooked fresh too. It's not like sitting there waiting to be served. When you order your okra, they drop it in the fryer and they bring it out as soon as it's ready. A little bit just the little details, and they got homemade ranch. Homemade ranch is like my that is my baseline determining factor on if I will even eat in your restaurant or not.
Is that your kryptonite?
No, it's not my kryptonite. It is my I won't eat here if you don't have homemade ranch.
Oh.
If you can't take the time to make homemade ranch, what else is pre-made? You know what I'm saying? It's like if you go to a Mexican restaurant, the tacos damn well better be good.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if I go to an American-style place like McBee's or, you know, a pub-style place like that, if your ranch ain't homemade, what else is frozen? Now, I expect mozzarella sticks and some appetizers to be frozen. I don't expect everybody to make from scratch Southwest egg rolls or mozzarella sticks. Frankly, I like the frozen mozzarella sticks better than the big hand-battered logs at most places.
Okay.
They look cool, but they're just not as good usually as just a good frozen mozzarella stick. You know, it's like the marinara sauce is the kill shot is the key to a good cheese stick. You know, the marinara, you got to have good marinara, just like you got to have good ranch, and they got all that over at McBee's. Y'all know, I get talking about ranch dressing and can do a whole dang segment. Y'all be like, Clay, shut up and get back to what you're talking about. I will, but y'all swing by McBee's. The new location over there on at not Lake Caroline. It's Lake Caroline. Yeah. For some reason, Lake Caroline didn't sound right. At Lake Caroline, it's McBee's on McBee's Lakeside. Going to be opening soon. Y'all go follow them on social media. They're doing some great stuff. My friend Taylor DeSalle is heading up their catering side. I'm sure she's going to be doing some other stuff there as well. She's doing a lot of stuff on social media with them. Taylor's great. She was with another previous sponsor of ours doing their catering stuff. So I was really glad to see her and Michael end up linked up together. Now that I think about it, I may have had something to do with that. I think one of her friends asked me for his number. That's weird. I didn't think about that. Yeah, I'll take credit for it. I'm kidding. Look, Taylor's good people. He's got a great staff he's putting together out there. So y'all be following them on social media. And they're getting ready to open here soon at McBee's Lakeside, right there. Well, at Lake Caroline, if you're out that way in Madison County.
Yeah, they've been showing all the renovations and all the fixing up they're doing out there. Looking good.
It does. It's exciting, man. I can make that on my way home, too. I can make anywhere on my way home from here. I can go through Madison or Gluckstadt, or I can go through Jackson, North Jackson, or wherever I need to go. When you're coming from Florida, you can go either direction and make just about anywhere your way home. I can make Clinton on my way home if I need to. So anyway, check them out. McBee's today on Lake Harbor. They've been buzzing the res since 1982. All right, we ain't got about 2 minutes left here for the next break. Circle back to this toxicology report. A lot of rumors and innuendo out there. And I feel like a hypocrite here. I feel like I opened the show talking about people spreading lies or spreading unknown facts and saying allegedly or people say.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that's kind of what I'm doing here. But once somebody's put it out there on a national platform, I feel like it is okay to talk about what they said, to kind of analyze what they said.
To analyze the facts that have been put out.
Well,
or at least I don't know. Maybe possibility facts?
Yeah, I mean, are we doing the same damn thing that are getting those people sued?
I don't think so.
Because I'm not making an accusation.
No.
We're making, somebody else is making an accusation, and we're just saying, okay, well, if what they said is true,
yeah,
then ... So, whatever. Roll the dice here, I guess.
In this particular case,
I am not accusing. Let me be clear here. I am not accusing Nolan Wells of having done any drugs. But if what Officer Tatum says is true, I will not be surprised. And I also will not hold it against I'm not going to sit here and do a character assassination of Nolan Wells.
No.
He's an 18-year-old boy out there having a good time. They got to pass around a little toot-toot, as we'll call it. For the censors out there, they were passing around a little toot toot, and he did a little toot toot, and got a little blasted. Guess what? I bet you're looking at somebody staring across from you that has done that before too. At least one of us in this room are. So I'm not going to hold that against him because I did the same stuff. It's a miracle. It's a miracle that I'm here today. If fentanyl had been a thing when I was still doing drugs, I would 100% be dead. I'm just telling you, I'd 100% be dead because there ain't no way the shiesty characters I was getting stuff from would have been heads up. It wouldn't have been baby laxative they cut it with. It would have been fentanyl. I can absolutely guarantee it. So I'm not going to sit here and think any less of Nolan Wells if that's the case. And honestly, it will shine a light on if we end up finding out this wasn't necessarily a drowning, but it was a fentanyl overdose or high enough levels of fentanyl in his system to cause him to maybe trip and drown. So it could have been like a double-edged sword here, right? The fentanyl could have knocked him out while he was in the water, and he drowned while he was underwater from an overdose. And I think we're going to see that might be what happened, and it won't surprise me a bit. We got to take a break here. We'll be right back on the Clay Edwards Show with Preston Burke, 1039 WYB. Welcome back in to the Clay Edwards Show, 1039 WYB. We got about a minute and a half here for our top of the hour break. We'll be gone for 7 whole minutes. A little bathroom break and let y'all check out the news and all of that good stuff. When we come back, man, we can stay on this. We can shift gears. Maybe we will hit a little local stuff here in the Jackson area. Lots of crime going on around here. And maybe we can hit the Fauci stuff. Not a whole lot out of it. Fauci just pled the fifth throughout the entire thing, so I don't know. I'm so over the whole COVID stuff. Outside of them perp walking any of these people, I just don't care what they have to say anymore. We know Fauci is mini Mingala.
Oh, yes.
You know what I mean? Like, we tried to tell you all this the whole time. I never trusted the science. Just like, Fauci says, I am the science. Well, I am the barbecue. And I just never trusted the science. I never trusted Fauci. And, again, there's nothing about him I don't already know. The only thing I know is that when Donald Trump proves that pardon was written with an auto pen, Fauci needs to be hauled off to prison. But I guess the time has already lapsed when you can do it. But man, he may not get his punishment here on earth, but he'll get it in the afterlife. And you just got to remind yourself of that. Live right, and you won't burn in hell. We'll be right back. Boom goes Le Dynamite. It's hour 2, the most incendiary show on the RADIO. The Clay Edwards Show. We are live here on 1039 WYB. We're streaming worldwide on Mazda Jackson Live, streaming across all your favorite social media platforms except Facebook or TikTok or Instagram. We're everywhere else. We're on YouTube. We're on X, Rumble, and Twitch. Find us there at SaveJXN or at Clay Edwards Show. This segment is brought to you by our friends over at Anglin Plumbing. Check out Anglin Plumbing today for all your plumbing needs. And, of course, they're hiring, as always, there at Anglin Plumbing. You can start around $50,000 a year or higher, depending on experience. And, man, start making a good living, doing a little hard work, a little AI-proof, a little future-proof work here in Mississippi, right here, locally owned. Man, that goes a long way. Locally owned, locally operated. You'll be working with the boss. And I tell you, I just don't know about y'all, but I like working for a small company. I like working with the boss. I like having the boss cell phone number in my phone so I can call them, hey, bro, I ain't going to make it today. No, I'm kidding. Anyway, man, y'all check out Anglin Plumbing, ANGLIN plumbing.com. And don't forget, they're doing landscaping and lawn maintenance and stuff as well. Got big crew there, all professional stuff. This ain't no middle-of-the-mall operation. They got 8 or 9 crews running on the plumbing side, got a big crew running on the landscaping side. They can get your job done. No job too big, no job too small. Need a toilet unclogged, they got you. Need a complete plumbing overhaul in a 60-unit apartment complex, they can do that too. Got it on the resume. So point being, they can handle your job. Give them a shout today. AnglinPlumbing.com. Dylan Anglin, good guy, man. Good kid, for sure. I like doing business with him. They do good, honest business, and they pay their bills, and they show up when they say they're going to show up. And, man, that's good by me. All right, let's get this party back started here. Let me check this text here. All right. Get back to that in a minute. The Ellis Autoplex text line is 769-241-1944. Let's go to the text line and see what you guys and gals are saying this morning. Unknown texter, someone who had texted earlier about Russ and the defamation verdict and all that stuff, says if you publish your personal info to the World Wide Web, it's not doxing if someone shares that. when you post your personal info, it's under the same laws as publishers, newspapers, books, etc. Yeah, but when you find out where somebody lives through nefarious means that's not published online, like Zillow and stuff like that, I think that's different than me posting a picture of my house and you figuring out where it is.
I would say that is much different.
Yeah, like you found out through, because there's lots of ways to find out where people live. I mean, there's lots of technology out there, skip tracing technology and stuff like that to find out where people live. Attorneys have it. They need to find out how to send somebody a subpoena, stuff of that nature. I mean, there's lots of ways to find out things about people, to do, generic background checks, a lot of information out there. I mean, how do you think you get junk mail? But unless I put a picture of my house and tell you where I live, if you find it out any other way, that you did it through nefarious means.
Yeah, and that's not real kosher.
No. So, and again, it's beyond just posting like where they live. She went knee deep on some other things as well, on these accusations and stuff. So it's a culmination of everything.
As we say, it's not just one thing; it's many things. It's I'm trying to think of the word I want to use here. It's all the evidence put together.
Yeah, combination of. Yeah. So, and then I think one of the next ones is going to be the Secret Service Sam guy. I'd be shocked if not. That guy's a complete turd bucket. And I mean, I've watched a couple of his videos on this, and just the liberalism, the elitism that comes out of his pores when he talks makes you want to just, I don't know, I guess you can't say anything anymore. We're just self-censoring ourselves, but y'all can imagine, I would like to take the smile off of his face. I don't know any other way to say it. Man, I want to, before we move forward, I need to say something real quick. I want to make sure I get this right. Bear with me 2 seconds here. It would be inappropriate not to acknowledge this. Look, I want to pass our condolences on, at least from this show, and I assume I most likely speak for everybody here at the radio station, but I don't want to speak for everybody at the radio station. But Lance Tolbert passed away yesterday with Super Talk Mississippi. Lance is producer on a bunch of shows behind the scenes, and he also was the host of the Friday night high school scoreboard
Friday
show.
Night Lights, Friday Night Football show.
Yeah. Yeah, passed away Monday on the 27th. He wasn't but a couple years older than me, 74 to 26, so 52. So rest in peace, Lance. My condolences to his family, his friends, and his coworkers. The radio community is a pretty small community.
That's true.
Around here, and occasionally we actually get to cross paths out at events and stuff. And I don't know that I met Lance. I don't know that I didn't, but I know that I listened to him. I love the Friday night scoreboard shows, especially if I'm traveling any. Because I love high school football, even though I don't really. I try to watch as much online. I try to keep up with my Brandon Bulldogs. They're my adopted hometown, my adopted school. They tore Byram down. So, and I'm not a Terry guy. Never stepped foot in Terry. I never stepped foot in Brandon either. But if I'm going to pick one, of them Bulldogs, I'm picking Brandon.
There you go.
They win. Shots fired. But anyway, condolences to Lance Tolbert there, man. Super Talk's taken some hits the last couple of years, man.
They really have.
JT.
Yeah.
Paul, Gallo. And Lance here, just off the top of my head. I think Dave died a few years ago too, didn't he?
No pun intended, but some big voices in the system.
Yeah, man. Hate that for those guys, I really do. Like I said, that's what I was saying earlier about like these producer jobs. You can learn how to do this, learn how to produce. There's more employment for people who can push the knobs than there are for people who can talk on the microphone. Mm-hmm. That's usually how it works, right?
That's right.
There's more employment for the person who can go sell the ads than the person who can do the yapping.
That's right.
So if you can yap and you can sell ads, there may be a job here at WYAB for you. But
speaking of selling some ads, I'm trying to start up my own show here, and I need some advertisers. So if you can contact Clay here at WYAB, he can get you in contact with me, or if you can hit me up online at Bourbon Diplomacy on X, just drop the Y, or at Facebook, YouTube, Rumble. You can find me somewhere at Bourbon Diplomacy.
Yeah, he's about 2 sponsors away from getting a show rolling here on WYB. If you've been thinking about advertising on the Clay Edwards Show, or if you're a current advertiser on the Clay Edwards Show, make you a great deal to do an add-on for Creston's show. Make you a great deal. Kind of not a 2-for-1 necessarily, but almost make you a really good deal. And if you're not an advertiser and you want to be, I'll make you a great deal. I've got a couple spots available. It always slows up a little bit in the summertime. July is just always a terrible month for me.
Yeah.
It's just nothing good happens to me in July.
Yeah, everybody's out doing stuff. They ain't got time for this.
Yeah. So July, the bad things happening to me in July trend continued this year as my 91,000 follower Facebook page got deleted in July. But I don't mind falling on that sword because of why it got deleted. It got deleted because I'm telling the truth about this Nolan Wells stuff, and the angry black for a living racist mobbed up and got it deleted. They tried to get me deleted, but I ain't gonna allow it. It ain't gonna work. I don't mean killed, but they've been trying that for years. But I mean fired for this job, but that ain't gonna work. So I just July, man, it's always a rough one. Slow news day. It's just, I was talking to somebody yesterday. I was talking to Sean yesterday, Yurkaron, and we were like, man, I wish football would hurry up and start back, and people could find things to entertain themselves.
But hey, you got to look at it, man. Less than 6 weeks, about 40-something days, and we're back into the SEC football.
I'm looking forward to it. Mississippi State's already signed their death warrant. 0-12 after that gay TikTok dance video they put out. And then LSU tried to one-up them. And I mean, I just watch these videos of these grown men acting like that. And I say grown men, but, physically grown men, acting all feminine. And, man, it's just the product of daddy not being in the house. The product of daddy not being in the home, being raised by mama and mama's friends and your sisters and all that. And it's just, where are the dads at? Where are the men at? Period. It ain't just a race thing here. Y'all don't take it that way. But where in the hell are the dads at in these situations? Like, dads, get back in your children's lives. My mama won't let me. Quit making excuses. Quit making excuses. Get back in your children's lives. Don't leave your children's lives. How about, look, I know it's hard. I'm a grown man. I owned nightclubs for years. I lived that life. Trust me. I'm not being a hypocrite here. I'm telling you from personal experience. Think with the head on your shoulders. Just try to think more than a couple minutes ahead. And just, I can't say it on the radio. I don't even know if I can even insinuate what I'm trying to say. But I'm going to try. Just remember you got 2 hands. And you won't regret. You won't regret that the next day. No mistakes will be made. And you don't have to worry about a lifetime of anything. And you just make of that what you will. And you will not have any regrets the next day. No little devil, no bad man following you around, worrying about anything that you did the night before. No STD test, pregnancy test, nothing. And we'll just leave it at that. All right, let's see here. The live chat, man. Let's jump in here for a minute. I apologize for ignoring the live chat. I'm not ignoring y'all intentionally. I just, yesterday, the last couple of days, has just been such a crap show over there. It's been too hard to keep up with. I know we got a super chat here I want to acknowledge. We got 2 of them, actually. We got $5 euros. $5 euros. 5 euros. Let me change the setting here real quick so we can read them. Put the background on it. There we go. Now let me flip back so I can read it. Chat. All right. Mad Cow Moo, 1723, which I just since Bourbon Diplomacy has been retired to working on the show, I have a new favorite screen name, Mad Cow Moo. Says, top of the morning, just wanted to say I'm absolutely astonished in what people are saying they hear in the audio call that put out. Are people crazy? Yes, Mad Cow Moo. In fact, people have mad cow disease, I believe. Something
like that.
My buddy Michael, that does a lot of my T-shirts and stuff, is just one of my lifelong close friends. He's made his mind up that the COVID shots and the boosters, as well as the face mask, did long-term damage to people. And it has created an absolute nation of idiots, especially in a particular community, that it's turned them into absolute sheep. And he's convinced that the mask cut off oxygen to the brain and the boost and the COVID shots and boosters had something to do with this. And you know what? I have a hard time arguing with him about it and not being a conspiracy theorist. And he's being sarcastic a little bit. He's not a crazy person, I promise. But he makes a good point. It's like, these people have lost it. And they were always a little crazy, but you track the last 5 years since that vaccine got, and all those masks got entered into our lives, 6 years with the mask, 5 years with the vaccine. And people have lost their ever-loving minds coming out of COVID.
Oh, yeah.
Like, we have not rebounded socially from that.
Not yet, we haven't.
I don't think we've seen the worst of it. And I know if Lindsay's listening right now, Lindsay Beckham, host of the Lindsay Beckham Show, noon to 1 right here. If she's listening right now, I mean, she's piped up. She's like, oh, they're talking my talk right now. But we haven't seen and maybe they're starting to see it in schools a little bit better, but we haven't seen the negative results yet, the lifelong negative results yet of those kids having to wear masks at the developmental ages for 2 years, 3 years in these damn schools. We haven't seen, we're starting to see the fallout of the lack of socializing at those important developmental ages.
Absolutely.
And where you're starting to see all that, you're going to see a whole generation. You thought the millennials, you thought Gen X, late Gen Xers, like my age Gen X, still people that aren't 50 yet. Like, I'm on the tail end of Gen X, and then millennials. You think they had social anxiety and, ADHD and all these new, not diseases, but symptoms or whatever you want to call it, that you had never heard before, that the greatest generation and the generations prior just said, rub some tussin on it, it'll be all right. And our doctors and mamas said, no, there's a pill for that. You just wait until this current, what are these, Gen Ys, Gen Z? I don't know what they are. The current babies, Generation Alpha, I think.
I think they've gone to Alpha now.
Yes, Gen Alpha, I think. You just wait till they get into their teens and 20s, and we're fully integrated into these phones, even more so than we are now, and their baby apps and all that. They're going to be a social disaster.
Yeah, they're finding out right now already that since some of the school systems have gone to using electronics for all their work, not making these kids write things down and read things for themselves and so on and so forth, that the test scores aren't going up; they're going down.
Yeah, the Mississippi Miracle thing. I don't want to be a hater. I just want to say I have my doubts.
You're very well. You should have your doubts.
I'm just going to tell you, I have my doubts. And Clay, how do you have your doubts? What are you talking about? Well, look, I'm on social media as much or more than anybody, and I know I argue with a bunch of people that are way younger than me that comment on my stuff, especially like on Instagram and TikTok. These people don't speak. These people don't type English.
No, they do not.
And if you listen to them talk, they barely speak it. We're just a generation away from clicking and clucking and ticking, and speaking in emojis
like a pod of dolphins.
Yeah, I don't get it. Them people didn't pass a third grade reading test.
Yeah, I think you'll see that those numbers were maybe inflated a bit.
Yeah,
that's just a personal opinion.
Like, did you tell a particular group not to come to school that day? Do the people who didn't take the test count? There's no way. And I'm not saying that we aren't doing better. I'm not saying it's all bogus.
That's right.
I'm not. And teachers, good teachers out there, I'm not making any accusations towards y'all. God bless you. You're doing a calling.
You're a godsend. We love you.
Absolutely. Same goes for like good nurses and stuff that weren't making TikTok dance videos during COVID while telling all of us that we were in the middle of the deadliest pandemic ever and to wear our damn mask and take the damn vaccine and all that. Y'all are godsends, and I will never speak ill of good teachers and great nurses. I won't do it. Never. Just like I won't talk bad about good policemen. But man, you want to talk about a field that's ate up with some rotten apples, some nasty bananas, some poisonous M&Ms, teaching. And I do not trust it as far as I can throw it. Again, good teachers, I'm not talking to y'all. Just be clear there. I've got a lot of teachers that listen to this show, and they tell me as much, and y'all are a godsend. Just want to make sure I'm saying that before this gets clipped up and people say I said something I didn't say. But, man, the evil, rotten, LGBTQ, LMNOP, trans agenda pushing, culture rot pushing teachers that are out there right now, y'all are terrible people, and I think y'all will be right down there with Fauci when this all ends for you. I really, really do. I mean, Creston, I need to acknowledge something real quick. Shout out to Stickard for the super chat, $4.20 to get the day kicked off on me. Get the day kicked off early this morning. He was one of our first commenters. Shout out to Stickard for the $4.20. Smoke 'em if you got 'em. How do you call yourself a teacher when you, in fact, cannot speak English yourself? If you are up in a classroom speaking in Ebonics, how are you teaching children if you can't speak English yourself? I don't care what class you're teaching, whether it's English, math, science, history, biology, algebra, PE. I don't really care. If you speak fluent Ebonics, why are you teaching children how to do anything if you can't do the bare minimum and speak the language of this country? Y'all sit on that for a second. We'll be right back here with Creston Birch on the Clay Edwards Show, 103.9 WYAB. Welcome back in to the Clay Edwards Show, 103.9 WYAB. This segment brought to you by our friends over at Cowden Electric. Man, y'all, guys, man, it is so hot out there right now. I know this ain't an HVAC commercial, but you can't have one without the other. You can't have HVAC without electricity. I'm telling you, I imagine those air conditioners are mine ain't seen what I got it set on the thermostat in a week. I try to keep it on like 61 when I'm sleeping. It ain't gotten below about 67. And that thing is churning. It feels okay in the house, don't get me wrong, but I got enough fans to offset it, and I just bought that portable air conditioner, that Hess Air. It's supposed to be here today. Don't think I won't drag that thing in the house and plug it in too if I need to. But with all that said, if power goes out, ain't none of this stuff going to matter. But if you got an emergency generator, you ain't going to go without. But I'm going to tell you what, if you live on my block and you got an emergency generator, you better cut the front lights off on your house, because if the AC goes out of my house and I see you got some light across the street, like you may have a generator, you're going to have some company. And now, look, I'm a good house guest. I'm housebroken, and I'll bring food and beer. But I'm going to enjoy your air conditioning, especially you got internet, you got Wi-Fi. I'm coming. I'm telling you, I'll mind my own business. I'll sit in the corner. I'll try not to get the house shot up while I'm there. I won't tell nobody where I'm at. But, you know, if you've called Cowden Electric and you got an emergency generator, look, you got a house guest anytime you want it if the power's out on my street. So look, reach out to Marty and them today. Let them come out, talk to you about it, see which unit's going to work best for you. Man, look, let me tell you something. You can reach out to Jamie Creel, my insurance agent. Jamie's referred Marty to probably a half dozen or more of his family members and clients, and they've all been satisfied. Jamie himself, I believe, got one done as well. You know, call the people that have gotten work done by them. And to me, that is the best. I can lead you to water, but word of mouth is still the best advertising you can do. Unfortunately, everybody ain't got a big platform, so that's why somebody like Clay comes in. But come out there, let Marty and them see what they can do for you. Again, if you got a big house, don't be trying to be cheap. Get the right size generator that's going to power the house. And look, if you can't afford the big one, I'm going to raise my hand. Can't afford the big one right here. At least not paying cash for it. If I got to finance it, I can do that. But everybody may not want to do that. Maybe you're renting a house. Well, talk to your landlord. Make sure they're cool with it. If you're renting a house, and let them come out and make some adjustments to your breaker box where they can add a plug to it. and run just whatever you deem to be the essentials off a portable generator without having to run all the dang extension cords everywhere. I think y'all have established by now you understand what Clay's essentials are: the air conditioner and the internet. So I just need a plug, a good power strip, and I need air conditioning. And I can burn candles for the lights. I don't care. Give me my internet, give me my air conditioning, and a power strip to charge my phone, and we're good to go. Anyway, check them out today, CowdenElectric.com, COWDEN electric.com. 50 years and more in business right here, Central Mississippi. Family-owned, family-operated. The man whose name is on the business is the man that's going to be coming and doing the work. That's Cowden Electric, my buddy Marty, COWDEN electric.com. And they are doing the fast charge, the big wall units now for your electric cars, Teslas and all that. They're hanging those, getting those things right up and rolling for you as well. So if you got a Tesla or an electric vehicle from anywhere, Hummer, let them come out and get that thing hung in your garage for you too. All right. Creston Birch is in here with me. I guess he's become my new guest co-host here on the show. I like having somebody to chop it up with, man, even if it's just a couple words here and there. You know, I don't always need an opinion back and forth, but it's nice to end a sentence and somebody pick it up where I left it off and get an opinion here and there. And Creston, he'll get more comfortable and he'll start talking more. He's monitoring our live chat and trying to help me out over there from an in-studio perspective. If he sees something worth chopping it up about, he lets me know. I want to give a shout-out to our YouTube moderators. Those guys and gals always doing a great job. Justin, Eric, Nikki, appreciate you all for helping us out, keeping it clean there. I think I did y'all a big solid today by cutting off the Facebook feed. I started it yesterday. We had over 400 comments on Facebook when I cut that thing off yesterday. And it was just, the overwhelming majority was just negative.
And not just negative about the topic we were talking about, negative in general. They were either a threat, a lot of them, or they were just plain out vulgarity.
Yeah, again, I am fine with you not liking me and telling me my thoughts and opinions are wrong, even calling me a racist, whatever. You know, I have thick skin. But where I draw the line is when you ruin the party for everybody else. Like that's when I start blocking folks and when I start cutting folks off. Like, if you can't come here and share the space. And, you know, this goes back to exactly, now I'm sitting here thinking, this goes back to exactly what I've been saying about the culture rot. Why we're all speaking out about it so much now is y'all have ruined our shared spaces with your trashy culture. And we're fed up with it. You know, we build these places, we build these things, whether it's a digital space like my live chat, or if it's a bowling alley, a skating ring, a bar, a nightclub, whatever, a movie theater, a mall. You know, we build these nice things for everybody. And then there's one particular group of people, the culture rotters, they come in and they try to ruin it for everybody. That's why we don't want to be around y'all. That's why we don't want you in our spaces, because you can't act right. And no, I am not talking specifically about black people. I'm talking about culture rotters. It ain't the same. It ain't the same. There's good folks and there's bad folks in every group. I don't want to be around the white trash version of that either. I'm talking to them too here. There's a culture rot in that. There's culture rot in that group of people as well. The culture rot is not exclusive to the black community. It is majority the black community I'm talking about, because I'm talking about Jackson most of the time. I'm talking about hip hop music. I'm talking about all that. So yeah, but again, it ain't exclusive. It's just, you know, if you go around and Creston, you take 40 years now. We're 40 years, almost 50 years into hip hop music.
Yep.
And it started out as this great thing. It was new. It was different. And it quickly turned. We went from Run DMC and Beastie Boys and all that to NWA. And people say the CIA had something to do with it. The Jews and CIA has something to do with dropping this poison pill into the black community, that it was gangster rap and crack cocaine kind of simultaneously, and they kind of created this culture for it to eat itself. And look, you know, maybe that's true. Maybe it's not. I tend to lean towards it being partially true, but I also tend to lean towards some personal accountability and saying, well, you know, you didn't have to smoke the crack. You didn't have to sell the crack. You could have just continued going to work every day and not bitten that poison apple. You know, that's kind of always been my philosophy about that. Nobody held you down and made you do it.
Yep.
You know, I mean, but talking about the hip hop music, you're lying to yourselves if you tell yourself that that doesn't influence you in any way, form, or fashion after years and years of listening to it. I mean, I know I'm not the only person who listened to rap music long enough and started vicariously kind of living that and, you know, becoming more materialistic, looking at women differently. You know, I mean, thinking that it was okay to do these things, to act like that, to look like that, to aspire for my life to become a rap song. I'm not proud of this either, by the way. I'm just being honest with y'all. That's the person I became. And that's why these people hate me so much now, because I was that person. And then I woke up one day by hook or by crook and decided I wasn't going to be that person anymore. Now, it was not an overnight thing. It was not a switch being flipped. It was, I was broke and I had to go get a job and I had to work and I had to have it beaten out of me, not physically, but spiritually, mentally. I had to have the thug trash just drained out of me by getting up every day and going and working my butt off, doing a job I hated.
You figured out that wasn't going to pay the bills at the end of the month.
Well, it did for a long time until it didn't.
Yep.
And when it didn't anymore. It was either continue down this and start a life of crime to keep doing this lifestyle, or go get a real job. You know, I chose a real job. And in my mid-30s, I think I was 34 when I got into the car business. Luckily, wasn't a felon or anything like that, and was able to get a job. But it was just by the grace of God that I wasn't a felon, you know? So I'm just saying, man, the culture rot, the music has so much to do with it. It truly, truly does. Like, I was never the biggest fan of Doug Wilson when I worked for him. I just didn't like, we just butted heads. And there's no knock on him as a person. He was just hard to work for at the time. And I just didn't like the way they treated salespeople as product marketing specialists, not salespeople. Mm-hmm. You know, but hey, I chose to work there. You know, but one thing that I did take from Doug that I'll never forget to this day, and he owns the Wilson Auto Group and all that stuff, is he kept Christian music playing in his dealerships. And, you know, after about 30 days, they did a challenge, whatever it's called, Air One, or there's two Christian stations. One plays more like Christian rock, and one plays more mainstream Christian stuff. Was it K-Love?
K-Love, Air One. Yeah,
Air One and K-Love. Rock 93 became Air One. Mm-hmm. And I think we had stayed on that one more so for whatever reason, thankfully. I changed it to that at the original store when I was working there. But, man, it's crazy. Crescent, after about 30 days, the 30-day challenge, which I wasn't participating in by choice, it was just what was on all day, man, I started slowly changing. And I know people will laugh, and people get so mad when you bring this guy's name up and when you're talking about Christianity and faith. But Joel Osteen came to town about the same time to the Coliseum. And I didn't know who Joel was. My mom and them were asked me to go. I went. And it wasn't a Christian thing. It wasn't a moment of faith, but it was his whole thing at the time. I think he got the book, the Why Not You, Why Not Me, mm-hmm. was the deal. I always looked at Joel as more of a motivational speaker than a faith-based preacher.
Yeah, he kind of got wrapped up in his own game.
Yeah, but I always enjoyed it. Look, if the worst that comes out of you listening to some Joel Osteen is that you feel better about yourself, mission accomplished. You know, it is what it is. But with that said, I quit listening to rap, started listening to Christian music more often, and I started reading more. And man, it was just like over about a year, 2, 3, I just changed. Did I still like to go out and drink and have a good time? Sure. But my entire mindset changed, and my life changed for the better. Let's take a break. We can come back and reset this. We'll be right back here on The Clay Edwards Show with Preston Birch, 103.9 WYAB. Welcome back in to The Clay Edwards Show, 103.9 WYAB. Streaming worldwide, Mazda Jackson live stream. We are powered by those free testosterone screenings over at Live Better Men's Health and Wellness, right out there in Gluckstadt, Mississippi. My buddy Scott McCullough going to get you up and running, guys. Going to get you up and running. Text Clay to 601-633-9017. 601-633-9017. Why doesn't that sound right? Is that the right number? I ought to tattoo it on me at this point. But 601-633-9017. It would take the website a second. That's not the website, but the Facebook a second to pull up when I asked that. Yeah, I had it right. 601-633-9017. Text Clay or livebettermen.com. Sometimes you say a number so often that it just doesn't sound right when you say it. Like,
absolutely.
Why did that not sound right that time? But all right, we are back real quick. Who do we need to give a shout out to real quick here? 042 Wine and Spirits. And you can never go wrong with my guys over there. Right there next to Sonny's Barbecue, right across from Dick's Barbecue and all that. Wedged right in between a bunch of barbecue. Right there on Highway 80 in Cross Gates, Brandon. Over 400 different bourbons and whiskeys to choose from. Over 400 different wines to choose from, and over 200 different bourbons and whiskeys, and a wide assortment of all your other favorite types of elixirs and drinks. You know, your favorite vodkas, gins, tonics, and all that good stuff. They got it right there. Some hard to find stuff. Of course, some easy to find stuff. They got some new coolers and whatnot in there to keep your Jägermeister and your Fireball cold, your wines cold, and all that stuff, so it's ready to drink. They got a bunch of the ready-to-drink cocktails, too. I know that's become a big thing. I wish they had those back when I liked that kind of stuff, but they didn't. But they do now. So if that's your jam, they got that. They got all your favorite box wines and everything ready to roll. And they got a great assortment of Bloody Mary mixes, margarita mixes, all of that stuff, so you don't have to go to multiple stores to get one thing and then another, then another. You know, liquor stores are limited what they can sell inside them. As far as that type of stuff goes, they're not allowed to sell anything that can be like food or prep or anything. So, but they got a wide assortment of all that kind of stuff for you, all your favorite setups and mixes and everything. So check them out today. 042 Wine and Spirits, locally owned and award-winning. I'll get by there this week and kind of see what their current private barrel select stuff is too. I need to stop by and see them anyway. Let's see here. We were talking about Joel Osteen a minute ago, and I don't want to just leave that completely hanging out there like that. I want to say this. I know Joel gets a lot of crap, and me and Preston were talking about it during the break. You know, he kind of got to believe in his own hype and always referred to it as, kind of likes to smell his own farts.
Yeah, it says in the old Bible there that the love of money is the root of all evil, and pride goeth before a fall, and he fell into both of them.
Yeah, and every now and then I'll be flipping through the TV and he'll be on Sunday mornings, I guess, still on whatever channel it is, or at least he was last time. I remember, maybe it's been over a year. I can't remember last time I saw. I haven't searched it out. Church seems to still be full. So I don't know what's going on with it, but I know at that time of my life, 2011, 2012, 13, it was around 2014 when I was going through this renaissance, and that's when I discovered Joel Osteen, and man, I jumped in head first to an extent. I didn't really watch his sermons too much, but I think he had his own XM channel at the time. He may still, and I would listen to that, and I would listen to his podcast, and I had his books and stuff. But you got to understand where I was at that point in my life, is I was trying to consume as much positive as possible, because I was just trying to rebuild myself literally from the inside out. Mm-hmm. And I was going to church too. I mean, we should just go to a good church. Like, people get so mad. He's so polarizing. There's there's a set of Christians that just won't allow you to talk good about this guy or to acknowledge that he had any positive influence on you. And I've had this big pushback with people for talking good about Joel Osteen. Like, man, I won't say he saved my life, but I will definitely say that I was in a dark place personally, professionally, is what I'm trying to say. Like feeling like I wasn't good enough, and I would never get a promotion, and this, that, and the other. And I'd kind of defeated myself mentally, because I'd mentally told myself I wasn't good enough. And I went to that thing, and he said, why not you? Why not you? And man, within 2 months, I had my first promotion in the car. I quit where I was at, and went over to the Hair and Gear Toyota. And within 3 months of being there, I was got my first management gig. You know, I was salesman of the month. Before that, I mean, I just boom, boom, boom. It was just like, well, yeah, why not me? You know, and I credit it back to that and kind of removing any negativity that was creeping into my space, removing all that and just staying positive. And I don't know that I can do that now, you know, but I'm sure there's people out there right now. Why don't you do that now? Well, you wouldn't listen to this show if it was all positive. Let's just be honest. If I turned into Clay Osteen, y'all would not, it wouldn't be believable, and B, it wouldn't be believable.
Yeah.
You know, you wouldn't listen. Y'all listen to this because you like the incendiary content. You're not listening to this waiting on me to have a baby face turn, you know.
No, I don't think so.
I mean, that's just like people are saying, do something positive with your platform. Again, I tell you it all the time. I think what I do is positive. It's just
you shed light. You shed light on things that need to shed light on.
You know, I'm gonna put it on a shirt one day. Thank you for saying the things that we can't.
There you go. There's your new shirt idea.
You know, that's what I get told more than anything when I meet people out on the streets is thank you for saying the things that we can't. And, you know, my comeback to that is, I get it, and it's job security, continuing to say the things that y'all can't. But if we all would just say the things that we need to say, there wouldn't be things we can't say. Yeah. As long as you're speaking the truth.
As long as you're speaking the truth, and you're saying it in lack of a better term, if you're saying it in love,
yeah,
and not in a hateful manner, and just treat people how you want to be treated.
Yeah, that's it, man. You know, and don't take things personal. When somebody's not talking about you directly, like you, the man in the mirror, woman in the mirror, if somebody like me is using generalizations to talk about a particular subset of a culture, that doesn't mean I'm talking about you as a person. You know, you got to try to compartmentalize those things. God knows I've had to, or I will lose my mind. We'll be right back to land the plane for the day. Don't go nowhere. We're going to stay online for a second, read a couple of these comments here. Let's read this one here. This one jumped out at me. Benjamin says, Clay, good feelings won't get you to the promised land, brother. Only blood of Jesus. Please believe that man. If you never listen to anyone else, believe what I just said. And I'm well aware. I mean, you know, look, I know that being baptized isn't a golden ticket, just being baptized. You know, but I've been baptized recently in the last 10 years. And, last 10 years. And contrary to what y'all may see here on the radio show and kind of my attitude, again, I think I'm doing the Lord's work. I mean, you know, I'm not out running bars, whoring around. You know, I might not be out picking people up off the streets.
Ain't none of us perfect.
I might not be picking people up off the street and taking them to church and to eat and, you know, doing stuff like that. But I don't think anything I'm doing is anything that's going to get me put in hell. What, calling out bad people? I mean, when did calling out bad people become a bad thing? When did that become a sin? Is that a sin?
That is. No, I don't think that is. I think the Lord Jesus Christ himself called out a few bad folks.
I mean,
I think he was standing in the temple when he did it.
Is asking people to quit killing each other a sin?
No, that's what we're supposed to do.
You know, again, like people are like, do something positive with your platform. What do y'all call positive? What am I doing that's negative? That's what I would like to know.
Yeah.
I mean, I know the answer. I know what they're going to say. They're not right. You're talking about black people. Because I want y'all to act right. I want the people who aren't acting right to act right. And the majority around here, that's who's not acting right. You know, is that too much to ask? Yes, obviously I want my people to act right too. And when they don't, I call them out.
That's true.
You know, like, I just don't understand what about what I do y'all think that makes y'all think I need God in my life any more than he already is. Like, I don't understand it. I truly don't. I would love for y'all to tell me exactly what it is about what I do that makes y'all think I need Jesus in my life more than he's already in there. Like, what am I doing that's unholy? what am I doing that's a sin? How about that? I would like to know. I'm not out having relations with I'm not lusting over my neighbor's wife. I'm not doing any of these things. I'm not gluttonous. I'm not. Well, there is one thing I sin. I mean, I'm not married, and I do live with my girlfriend. But other than that, welcome back in. We got to get that intro cut off these last segments of the show, the intro to the last segment, because I run out so much of the other ones that it just eats up time there. But like I was saying during the break that for the people who tell me that I need Jesus and to get Jesus in my life and all that, y'all are taking a big jump assuming that I don't have a relationship with Jesus. And B, I think I'm doing the Lord's work. I truly do. And I would like to know, honestly, what y'all think that I'm doing that is a sin. Truly. Like, what am I doing that's a sin? Where you think, man, if Clay don't get right, he's going to hell. Please explain to me about wanting my neighbors to act right. And I don't mean my literal neighbors. My neighbors do act right where I live. But I mean, like, my fellow man. I just want y'all to not kill each other and to act right. I'm sorry if publicly demanding that is a sin, then I guess I'm a sinner. Creston, thank you for being in today, brother. We'll see you tomorrow.
Enjoyed it.
Peace out. And I will come back and check these comments. So better yet, if y'all want to comment on that, if y'all want to give me some advice or tell me why y'all think I'm going to hell or why I need more Jesus, other than the fact we all need more Jesus, but why y'all think what I'm doing is a sin or what it is y'all think I need to do more positive, I would love to hear what y'all think other than just do more positive. That's not why you're here. There's plenty of people doing positive stuff on the internet and the radio right now, but you chose to be here. See y'all tomorrow.